Good morning. My name is Todd Zimmerman. I am currently the chair of the Schuylkill County Democrats. And this video is intended to explain the role of a precinct committee person. These people are vital to rebuilding a county party. They play multiple roles, but it is not a full-time job. So I'm going to go over this information. And while this is intended for Schuylkill County PCPs, precinct committee people, it can be shared with any county, and I'll be glad to share the PowerPoint slide, and then they can create their own videos for their own specific county. So I'm going to share a screen right now. Okay, so again, this is about precinct committee person responsibilities. My contact information, again, my name is Todd Zimmerman, and you can email me at toddpzimmerman@yahoo.com. So a precinct committee person is an elected office. It's every 4 years, and it's the same year that Pennsylvania chooses a governor. So 2022, then 2026, etc. To get elected, there are two ways to do this. In usually late February or early March, you can contact the Election Bureau, and they will give you a petition for the candidacy of the PCP, and you need to get a minimum of 10 signatures. Now, I usually suggest that you get 15. It's not really a competitive race, but usually in races, you always like to get a few extra names in case one is incorrect and they wouldn't use it. So try it for 15. If for some reason, and then once you get those 15 signatures, you're going to get your petition notarized and hand it into the Election Bureau, and your name will be on the ballot during the primary. If for some reason you do not get the necessary petition signatures, you can obtain a minimum 10 signatures during the primary. So you would just ask your neighbors, perhaps contact somebody from the county party, and they will let you know who are doing mail-in votes. And you just ask 10 of them, or again, 15, to write in your name during that primary, and then you will be elected. If for some reason afterwards, a chair can also appoint you to a precinct committee person. But during the election year, these are the two methods to get on the ballot. That same year, after the primary, each county holds a reorganization meeting. And during that reorganization meeting, all the precinct committee persons in the county will meet and vote for a new chair, secretary, and treasurer of the county party. So your vote is important for that reason as well. Now, as far as voting precincts, Schuylkill County has many various types of precincts. There can be some with small populations, such as Landingville. It's a small village. I believe there are about 15 Democrats that live there, as opposed to West Brunswick Township, which has over 500. Then there might be some precincts in Pottsville, the city of Pottsville, that are very close walking, where you can just go door to door and meet different people. I'm the precinct committee person in West Penn 2. It's a rural area, and it's 4 miles by 4 miles. So I obviously can't walk door to door for people. I have to get in my car to contact my fellow Democrats in my precincts. Now, again, what you basically are as a precinct committee person is the captain for all the Democrats that live in your voting precinct. So again, for West Penn 2, I have about 120 Democrats that live there. So I'm the captain of that precinct. In 2018, we held a committee person summit. And our goal is to have an active committee person and then try to get 4 more volunteers. One could be your assistant, 3 more volunteers. And these are generally for the primary election, the general election in November. And then also once a year, we go canvassing, which I will explain later. And one of those volunteers should be a poll watcher. A poll watcher is somebody that sits inside the precinct. And when people come up to register to vote, you will check off their names that they are voting. So it's especially critical in the November elections because we want to see which Democrats have turned out to vote. So that is our goal. Now, most counties have 2 committee persons per precinct. They have a committee man and a committee woman. Currently in Schuylkill County, we only have 1, and it is non-gender. We would like to change our bylaws so that we have 2 committee people. Right now, women are the backbone of our party. So the state currently has in their bylaws that it has to be a committee man and a committee woman. But a lot of times there might be 2 women that want to apply. So there are ways to get around that. There can be a committee woman and possibly an alternate, and you will both have voting rights. So again, we want to change our bylaws in the future. So again, the main responsibilities, once a year, we would like each precinct committee person to communicate via letter to all Democratic households in your precinct. And again, if you have 4 volunteers, they will help you reach out to all those different areas. Again, in my area, 122 households. I may not need 5, but 5 would be great to help me. It'd be very easy to get to 20, to do 20 households in a day if you want to do that. So if everybody did that, you could reach out to everybody in a day. Also during the primary election, it's important to display signs, candidate signs at the precincts, as well as have a poll watcher. Perhaps if it's a contested race, you may have people outside handing literature to people as they go in. And again, the election day in November, same as above. However, I will explain this in another video. What we would like to do is to get volunteers to call precinct Dems that have not voted after 2 p.m. So we will know who has voted by 2, and then that's where we try to bump out the turnout by calling people that have not voted yet. Now, this is the most important thing, and this is what we want to stress in Schuylkill County. We have to go back to the roots of connecting with all the Democrats that live in Schuylkill County. And the best way to do that is via the precinct committee person and their volunteers to go door to door and to meet people face to face and to talk to them. And again, you're going to Democratic homes. What I do is I'm going to stop this sharing and share another document with you. What I do is I create a letter, and here it's, dear neighbor, I'm a lifelong resident of West Penn Township and currently the Democratic committee person for West Penn's 2nd precinct. So this is the letter that I've created for this year for 2022. And in it, it's a little bit background about myself. These are the statewide races. Again, Josh Shapiro for governor, Austin Davis for lieutenant governor, John Fetterman. Amanda Waldman is running for Congress. And in my area, I'm in the 124th House Legislative District. And again, that would be Tina Burns. Now, notice in yellow, there are 4 different legislative districts in Schuylkill County. So if you are in the 123rd, you would put 123rd and put that candidate, etc. And then I also give information that if they need a mail-in ballot application, a voter registration form, or anything like that, that they can contact me. Now, so this is the information, again, I give that to every household. I'm going to stop sharing again. Okay. So when I go to a home, I'm going to have a list of Democratic households. There's a way that you can actually go onto your phone with an app called Minivan. It's probably going to be hard to see, but right here in the middle, you can see this one right here. The circular dots, it's called Minivan. You can load that and I can send you a code and it would give you a list of all the Democrats in your precinct. So that way you can just register on the phone. And when you go to a home, you can mark that I've been there. So what I do is, first of all, when you go to someone's home, you want to hopefully have them open the door and greet you. So I let them know that I'm a friendly guy. So I have here a Schuylkill County Democrats t-shirt. I actually have a tote bag. Again, Schuylkill County Democrats. So if they see me coming, they're going to know, okay. I might even have some pins of the candidates that are running. So I'm going to have an envelope. So let's say I'm going to John and Jane Doe's house. I'm going to have this inside this envelope. I'm going to put my letter that you just saw on the screen. I will also have inside this letter the rack cards for all the different candidates. So again, this is Tina Burns. She's running for the 124th. So I will have her literature in this. See, it fits nicely into this envelope. I will also have the Josh Shapiro, Austin Davis, John Fetterman rack card, also for Amanda Waldman, who's running for Congress. So anyone that I listed on there, I'm going to have this information in this envelope so they can keep that. And when I knock on the door, I'm going to say, hi, my name's Todd. I'm your precinct, your Democratic precinct committee person in West Penn. I just wanted to say hello. I'm dropping off some information for you about the election. Do you need any information such as a mail-in ballot application or to register to vote, etc.? And I usually will carry these in my bag, just in case somebody needs these. And again, you can contact me or get them from, numerous offices. But again, I will provide that information for you. We have also in Schuylkill County made cards both in English and Spanish to register voters. So you can actually give these to people, and notice they have a Q code on there so that someone can scan to their smartphone and they can register to vote. But again, these are great tools to give to young people that use these all the time. They can keep them in their wallet, and then they can in turn register voters. So you should have a few little tools in your little kit when you go door to door. The other thing, if you're striking up a conversation with somebody and they're really interested, once in a while you'll have, wow, I thought I was the only Democrat that lived in this area. I'd like to become more involved. And you say, great. So I also have a piece of paper where I can put their name, their email address, and phone number. So if I have that, and again, I'm the chair of the party, so I keep a list of emails. But if you, the committee person, get a list, you can keep that for yourself, but you should also or make a photocopy for yourself. But then I'll explain that these should be mailed back to me, so that way I can add them to the county email list. And the key thing is, in that letter, I also said that there's a regional group, the Eastern School Democrats, that are in my area where we meet once a month. So I can also tell them about that information. If they want to get more involved, this is their way to get involved. They can help me volunteer. They could be one of my volunteers, or they can even get more involved. Maybe they want to run for some type of office. Maybe they're interested in school board or a borough council seat. So you will find people that want to become involved. So you should use that as a kit. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so then just to reiterate again, canvassing, this is the critical thing that we would like precinct committee people to do. Again, have volunteers go door to door to take this information to the Democrats in your precinct. Take a blank piece of paper to gain emails, phone numbers. You also have these voter registration forms, mail-in ballot applications. And if you have the time, take the time to help them fill it out. And then once you fill it out, take the form with you and get it to me or the election bureau and register them to vote. If you drop off a form, you know how it goes. Maybe they won't fill it out. But if you say, hey, can I help? Do you want me to help you fill it out? It'll only take a couple minutes. They'll be glad to do that. And the key thing is that we want to reach out to Democrats to get them to become more involved in the precinct as well as the county level. Now, when you are finished canvassing, and you might have some leftover candid literature or anything like that, again, contact our county office, contact me, and you can mail them back to me. I can pick them up, something like that. And then also, I want that list of names. You can scan it, email it to me, whatever you would like to do. Now, precinct committee persons are basically like the foundation, the building blocks of a house. We have 125 precincts. We need to have teams in each one. Once you have teams in each one, they can, as I mentioned earlier, join a regional club. So these are the current active Democratic organizations. We have an Eastern School Democratic Club, a Southern School Democratic Club, Pine Grove, City of Pottsville. There's a Democratic Women's League, and there's also a Young Democrats. A North of the Mountain Democrats are forming. There's been some interest in a Western school such as Minersville, Tri-Valley, and Williams Valley School District. There's an area in the center from New Philadelphia to St. Clair and Palo Alto that does not have an organization. So there is a lot of growth, but we have to start at the precinct level. Once we fill that and we get a lot of interest, that's how you build regionally. And then everybody gets information via email about different places in the county, and that's how we succeed. Now, some people go out of their way to meet people in their neighborhood. They might have a local wine and cheese party. Sometimes a few precincts will work together. So there are 3 precincts in West Penn. So perhaps West Penn 1, 2, and 3 could work together and have an event, a picnic event, and invite Democrats from your other area, just to say that we're here. And that's what we need to do for messaging. So this is what a precinct committee person does. It is an elected position, but as I stated, is not a full-time job. You're needed for the primary election, the general election, and then maybe a couple days in the summer, you and your volunteers contact the Democrats in your area. Now, each precinct committee person does have 1 vote. We are supposed to have 4 meetings a year, so they can be held in person or via Zoom. And you can vote on amendments to our bylaws, make suggestions, those types of things. So again, it is not a full-time job. You can be a soccer mom, you can go to be active in church or the Lions Club, and you will have plenty of time. We need to fight for our democracy, and we need active Democrats that are willing to be solid precinct committee people. So I hope this has helped you to understand the role of a precinct committee person. I hope people take advantage of this. We need to rebuild our party, and you have my contact information. So please reach out to me if there's anything that I can do. So thank you for watching. I hope this was of interest, and thank you and have a great day.